Hello guys and welcome to World of Tanks Tank Reviews number 1. Today we will be taking a look at the T32, the American Tier 8 heavy tank. And well, because it is a heavy tank, let's take a look at the armor and the weak spots first. The armor on the front of the hull is 127 and it has a very good sloping, and if you can see it, as upper you get on the hull, the more severe the sloping will get. So after you hit further than the clan logo, you will most likely get an out of bounds. And the weak spot, the lower plate, it is quite small target and it is also very well angled. So when you're shooting from a higher position or a higher tank or just shooting close, it will become harder target to hit, and at this point it will be easier to penetrate the upper plate really, because the angling won't be, well, the sloping won't be as severe as it would be before. And also on the upper plate there's the machine gun port, which is always easy to penetrate. And well, this is why the T32 is a very good hull down tank. The front of the turret. First of all, it is almost 300 millimeters thick, and then there's the gun mantle. And this is one reason why it is a quite preferred tank on some very competitive champion tank companies and ESL tournaments, because the gun mantle will stop even cold shells. And the only weak spot on the front of the turret is really the cupola, but even that is angled and is more well armored than the cupolas of other nations. So when T32 is hull down and you're shooting it from down below, it will be even more angled and will bounce a lot actually. But when you're shooting from a higher position, then it will become a lot easier to penetrate. So weak spots from the front, the lower plate, the machine gun port, and the cupola. Hull is always easier to shoot on the T32 than turret. On the side, don't bother with the turret if you can't see the side of the hull, because that's only 76. And same deal on the back, 51 on the back only, but the turret is much better armored in all sides, 200 on the side and 150 on the back. So if you can, don't shoot at the turret, shoot at the hull, it will be always easier to penetrate. And well, angling, well, on this tank, you can actually angle it, unlike an IS-3 for example, because of the pike nose, but not as much as an Tiger 2. German tanks are always the best at angling, and but well, you can angle it right about this much, something like this. The upper plate will become very hard to penetrate by tier 8 tanks. Tier 9 tanks, depending on tank, can still penetrate it. The lower plate will become a smaller target and will be harder to penetrate also. And depending on which way you're angling, if you're angling this way, it will be, depending how much you angle, it will be harder to hit the weak spot on the machine gun port. From this direction it will become actually a bit easier to hit. And on the side, your tracks are so wide, as you can see, they actually soak up a lot of damage. So you will get a lot of track damage, maybe get tracked even, but you won't get actually HP damage if they shoot your side, unless they hit the axle on the front. That will do HP damage and track you. Well, and that's basically the weak spots on the T32. Let's take a look at the guns next. Here are all of the tier 8 heavy tank guns, and let's compare the penetration first, because that is one of the biggest weaknesses of the T32. As you can see, here's its gun, and well, the penetration on it is the worst one. That's simple as that. Only one that has less than 200. Only one that comes even close in the how low the penetration is the VK scan. That has only 200, which is only 2 more than the T32. Every other tank has about 225, with a couple of expressions. The AMX has a little bit more, and the 110 has a little bit less. Everything else almost has the same penetration. Damage, that at least is not worse than the others. It is the average damage of most of the tier 8 heavy tank guns, 220. Only big differences are the IS-3, which has 390, and then the Carnarvon, if I pronounce that right, which has 230 only. But it does have way better rate of fire than anything else. Accuracy wise, it is quite bad actually. Only thing that it is the worst accuracy together with the IS-3. 1.4 is not good at all. Most tanks have, for example, Tiger 2 has 1.34, no, 0.34 of course, what I'm talking about. And the others have around 0.37 accuracy, except the Kind one again that has 0.32 accuracy, which is really great. And then the aiming time, well, that at least is not that bad again, 2.3, which is on the better end of the scale really this time. Same as the German guns, way better than the Soviet guns that have over 3 seconds aiming time. A little bit better than the Chinese 110. Well, but Carnarvon again has the best aiming time, only 1.9 in it. And the AMX has, I think it has the 3 second aiming time, which is not that good. The reason why I'm not talking about the rate of fire is really because, as you can see, these guns are used in a lot of tanks, so the rate of fire is, between this and that, and I can't check all of them on the specific tank, so just take a look at the numbers yourselves a little bit and compare. Basically, everything has, in the end, mostly the same damage per minute, so if it has a lower rate of fire, it has more damage, and vice versa. With the expectation of the AMX, which has the autoloader again. Next, let's take a look at the crew skills and equipment. So let's look at the equipment first. This is my standard setup for most tank: vertical stabilizer, tank gun armor, and enhanced gun lane drive. You could I would recommend taking enhanced torsion pass when the tank is stock, because the stock suspension only carries less than 55 tons, and the tank weighs 58 now. So if you do take the enhanced torsion pass, you can mount some other equipment also, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to, and you will be able to research this turret before the tracks. Everything else you have already unlocked. Well, if you have been smart, you have already unlocked the gun, the radio, and the engine on the T29, and you will only need to unlock the tracks and the turret. So if you take the enhanced torsion pass, you will be able to unlock the turret first, which is a big improvement in every aspect over the stock turret. It has the great armor. On this you don't have much armor and you can go hull down, which is what this tank is made for. And you have more V-range and more HP also. Now, crew skills. For heavy tank, I would always recommend going all repairs first, just so you don't have to waste your repair on the tracks. Helps a lot, trust me. And when the commander hits 100%, I always like to get 6 cents, so I know when I'm spotted. For the gunner, It is snapshot and smooth ride for the driver, just to get most of the gun again, and helps to have a vertical stabilizer because those skills always work together. For the radio operator, I went situation awareness because it's always nice to have a little bit more view range, and the radio operator doesn't have any other useful skills really. And loaders don't have anything useful, they only have perks, which you need to get 100% before they work even, so I'm with camouflage. Because, well, again, if you see the enemies before they see you, it's always useful. It doesn't help much, but it helps. Now we'll be talking about the playing style of this tank a little bit. How should you play the T32 then? Well, one word, hull down. Well, actually, is that two words? I don't know. Anyway, hull down is the way you should be playing this tank because of the great turret armor in the front. It will be, if you keep moving even a little bit, it will be impossible to penetrate you in the front unless it is a very high tier that is using gold ammo. Because even tier 8 heavy tanks and TDs with gold ammo can't penetrate that. Well, maybe the ISU can with the PL10, but others not really. And hull down, that's the way you should be playing it. If you've been familiar with the T29, that is before it, well, the playing style is a lot like this one, except it is a little bit smaller, a little bit faster, and the hull armor on the front is a little bit better, so you can do a peekaboo a little bit better. And even though the accuracy is not that good, the accuracy on the move is quite good. So you can, when you're hull down, you can pull over a hill, shoot quickly, and go back. Or if you're more comfortable with your situation that you won't get penetrated by anyone, you can take your time and aim carefully and then take the shot. But, well, you can take snapshot with this tank, especially with my setup. And, well, use the terrain. Keep your hull away from your enemies, or keep it angled always if possible. This is especially useful against the lower tiers because they will have a hard time penetrating you when you're angling yourself like this. Against the same tiers or higher tiers, just keep your hull behind a hill or something and just use the good turret to your advantage, and also the great gun depression. It's an American tank, so it has good gun depression. You can point your gun really a lot of downwards, so this is why you can peek over a hill, point your gun down, and the only thing the enemies can see is anything about this, and they will, well, they need to get lucky to hit your cupola from this angle, and even more lucky to penetrate it actually. That's all I can really say about the playstyle for this tank. It is a mobile T29. The gun is the same, the armor is better, mobility is better. Use the terrain, keep moving a little bit, and use the great gun depression and the target to your advantage. If you want a gameplay example of how to play the T32, there should be an annotation on the screen somewhere over here. Click it and it will take you to a gameplay video of the T32. So you can actually see it in action and it's used as a hull down tank. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like and comment the video. And I will see you guys next time.